Was the hype just too much yet again? Don't be like one of the 36.5% of you have not smashed the crap out of that scrub and smash it so we can get to 100K, baby. I want to talk about the expectations versus reality on Crossout Designator. Did the TCG get super hyped up and the course of the reality set in? So I remember I made some videos talking about how Crossout Designator, yeah, I gotta love the French names on these bad boys here. You guys gotta love that. We talked about initially, I remember getting flamed being like, Crossout's a good card, but will it warp the format? Yes. Will it be like the next tier 0 staple? No. And it looks like reality has finally set in, ladies and gentlemen. I am Glovorty with that. That's not the point of this video. Alright, the point is, the OCG and the TCG are very different games. But that doesn't mean that similarities do not drive the two. Mr. Dark Dragoon would like to be a good classic example of this. Dragoon warped the ever-living shit out of their format. Alright, like, horrible. It's because when you're playing a more casual metagame approach here, when you go to a casual locals, for example, everybody's playing tier 2 here, what's going to happen, right? Well, you can produce one super big badass boss monster, and it shits on the format. That's just how it works. Like, it's going to be the same thing here with Destroy Phoenix Enforcer in the OCG. When you have this more casual grouping of players here, one super powerful boss monster just steamrolls through the entire competition. Now, that's where the difference in the metagames begins to form here, where you have the Americans and the rest of the world here, and all the fun, fancy stuff that value this super competitive bullshit that we've been breeding for so long. That's why we can't win a Worlds. We don't understand how to have fun. So, you come over here, and on our side of the game, your opponent produces a Dragoon, for example, and you're like, you passed your turn on that! And then we proceed to break their board. That's just how it works here. You also have to remember, there are far many casual players that far supersede the amount of competitive players here, but because the competitive players are the vast majority here, you'll see more results, but thus in the long run, the OCG does have a competitive side of things that can tilt that scale. But remember, the casual players drive everything. You all you got the notes on that. I think that's all very important to understand. So, was Crossout Designator the victim of hype? Was this card the yeehaw partner of Duel Monsters? Yeah, I really do think it was. I've been looking at more and more tournament results as of late. Keep in mind we're still pre-Burst of Destiny here at this point, but so many players are looking at Crossout right now. I mean, the card's falling in price right now. Now, I do want to insert a disclaimer here to say Crossout Designator could be the Droll and Lockbird effect. And the Droll and Lockbird effect, for those of you that are like, what? The what effect, Robbie? I don't play this game. Fucking idiot. Ugh. Just here to call you fat in the comment section. Hey, man. I guess you gotta do you. The Droll and Lockbird effect is, Droll typically comes into formats that ends up being more of an issue. As of lately, I don't know if you guys have noticed here, but the game's been a little bit more rogue heavy, alright? After the last ban list, you've got 10, 12 decks. I mean, yeah, you still got like the higher tier 1s, but right now, pre-Burst of Destiny, everything is, kind of spread throughout. You don't really see any issues. I kind of look at Crossout Designator. Yeah, the card is very good at stopping, hand traps and things. But you have to remember, it can also be a mirror match breaker as well. You can stop certain key effects and maintain the course of the game, which it's pretty much what you want to do with it, all right? Or you want to link itself in the chain. So, shenanigans. But you have to look at it this way. We're in a format right now where things are so diverse, so crazy. I mean, with Sword Soul entering in here and Destroy Phoenix Enforcer showing everybody his anus in the upcoming set here, you got to ask yourself, will those two warp the format in a way for Crossout Designator to see play? And I think the answer still is going to be not crazy. I think the same amount of people that are playing Crossout Designator right now will maintain the course of it. I've read constant arguments from people like, so I played Crossout Designator after picking up my set for, $200. And it's been the same constant thing. Card sucks. And I've compared Crossout to Talents. You know, sometimes Talents is a 1-of, sometimes Talents is a 2-of. You don't see a lot of Talents at 3-ofs. All right, think about that. The card is good in the situations that the card is good. Going first, if your opponent doesn't have a hand trap, Crossout Designator is just a dead card. You're effectively counterplaying for something that might not even come up. And I mean, that's just the risk you take in terms of overlays deck building. There's nothing you can do about that. That's just variance 101. It just so happens that me and variance don't get along too well in the grand scheme of things. So another comparison here to Dark Dragoon. I brought up previously that the OCG, their format was driven by Dragoon. Like, kids were crying in corners after being Dragooned. Same thing with Mystic Mine, but it's a story for another day. Mystic Mine. You still have people crusading out here for Mystic Mine and Dark Dragoon to be put down. And they're not fun cards by any stretch of the imagination. It's just, you know, for the grand scheme of things, they both do very unfair things for the situations that they're put in, but are they really ban-worthy at their current junction in the game? And the answer is no. Especially Dark Dragoon. I mean, Dark Dragoon is a massive hindrance and a big pain in the ass, yeah. But is it doing things right now? No. Even the Imperial Order. Oh my god! The Imperial Order people were complaining about IO being such a problem in this format. People were shitting bricks, man. They were fucking crying. It was hilarious. I haven't ban list shifted. I haven't heard one peep out of Imperial Order. Imperial Order went back to Night-Night. All right, it returned back to the course it was. It was only an issue because Tri-Brigade was abusing the crap out of it. Haven't heard anything out of it now. I'm not saying that that doesn't mean that it hasn't still done its thing, because, like I said, you still got people out here complaining about Dragoon in, what, the year 2021. At this point in time, we just... What more can you do? You know, there will always be players out here that complain about high-impact cards! But everybody can afford Talents. Well, okay, not everybody can afford Talents now. Talents is cheaper to out Dragoons for the most part here. But as we go forward here, Crossout Designator, I think, fell short of the mark because we're in just such a weirdly diverse format right now that the amount of hand trap spread is a little bit thinner than normal right now because of the amount of diversity. You know, it's interesting. It really is. Oh, and let's not forget to talk about waves of 10s at this point in time, which means that, well, there are more to come. There will be way more Crossout Designators out there. You know, certain distros got their wave 2s in, and they're injecting them into the market right now. And the card is down in price. But I want to insert this here now. I think right now, Crossout is on that decline. We are on that good slope down. If you don't think that this card has the potential to shoot back up later in its life, that's where I think everybody is misunderstanding this at the moment. We are in a very good position right now for this card to keep maintaining its downward spiral at this point. And this card being, you know, on the flip side of things right now, being the Droll and Lockbird effect, it's just not in circulation for the format right now. So be warned by these words. This card has a very high chance to rebound later in its life, considering the fact how good the potential behind this card is. So understand that any big curves or shifts that, you know, shift this card to suddenly spiral back up, don't be caught with your pants down, ladies and gentlemen. I know a lot of people are waiting for this card to eventually hit that $50 mark. A lot of people are probably going to go hog shit crazy and try to pick them up. But from where I'm sitting right now, everything in the tins looking very, very, very affordable. So if you're somebody that held out and waited, or you're just finally getting some extra spare money to look at crossouts, you're heading near towards the $50 mark at this point in time. And I can already tell you, probably once you cross that threshold here, I think a lot of people are going to kind of start looking at them going, all right, now is the time to pick these up. So, be warned, $50 looks like the price point where a lot of people are going to go, woo, piece of candy. So guys, do you think Crossout Designator has fallen short of the mark for now? Please, if coming up with so much you guys think special of the crap, that's scrubbing, you guys don't miss out more content. And I'll see your beautiful faces back here later and do some more cool content. Peace out, guys. Have a good one. Thank you, patrons, for making the ride never truly end. Without you guys' support, well, I would probably be doing Truffle Shuffle videos for a living. Guys, please check out VanCole40 for all of your Cardfight Vanguard content brought to you by MCole40. And if you are looking to pick up singles, check out mcolegames.com for your trading card game needs. Thanks for watching, everybody.